Hi, there's Lock Pepper here, and this here was a article that was sent about a gentleman that lived what was like living through a war, basically. And this is what would be basically in a survival. Unfortunately, I'm cutting some things off on the side, but here it is. You can track it down and look at it more. It's from the Silver Bear Calf, and it's by Chris Sykes. Now, it said several readers alerted me to a former thread at a survivalist board. They sent around an individual named Selco, S-E-L-C-O, I'm probably mispronounced, who spent several years in the city during the complete collapse of Bosnia during 1992. Now, he describes his experience and the survival strategy that he had and his family and all of them had in the community. So, the shtf plan editor noted that when it hit the fan in Bosnia in 1990, the electrical grid and water utilities went down. Thus, there was no real heat in the winter and no potatoes basically to eat. It was really no water available for drinking, and the banking system was non-existent. Now, this is from Jim. He said, "Okay, I want to share my own experience. Be patient with my English. I am from far away," he says. "I am from Bosnia, and as some of you may know, it was hell here from 1992 through 1995. Anyway, for one whole year, I survived in a city of 50,000 to 60,000 residents without electricity, fuel, running water, real food distribution, and any goods or any kind of organized law or government. The city was surrounded for one year. Actually, it was a shtf situation. I said we did not have organized army or police force. There was groups of defectors. Actually, anybody who owned homes, owned houses, and his own family basically just toughed it out best way. Some of us were better prepared. Most of the families had food for a couple of days, and some of us had pistols, AK-47 when all started. Anyway, after 1 month or two, gangs started with their nasty jobs. Hospital looked like butchery. Police force, 80% of hospital staff gone home, just gave up. Police force, percentage of them, just about 80%. Hospital same way. I was lucky my family was big in that time. 15 members in one house, 5 to 6 pistols and other weapons helped them survive for most of us. Says, I remember the U.S. Air Force dropped MREs every 10 days. God bless the USA for that. As help for surrounded cities, not enough. Some houses had little gardens with some vegetables. Most did not. After 3 months, rumors started about first deaths from starvation, deaths from low temperatures, window frames from abandoned houses for heating, still just wood, whatever they could. I burned all my furniture from heating. A lot of people died from diseases, mostly from bad water. Two of my family members, we used rainwater for drink. Several pigeons. Once I ate a rat. And I've actually heard of people making rat burgers and stuff like that. You do what you can, and money wasn't worth crap. We traded things, black market work. Few examples: for one corned beef can, you could have a woman for hours. Sounds bad, but it was reality. So basically, a woman would sell herself. I mean, you could say, "Here, you can have my wife or whatever, my daughter, whatever, for that can of corned beef for them to eat, just to eat." I remember most of the women were just desperate mothers, uh, that were caring for the family. So about lighters, antibiotics, fuel, battery, ride ammo, and of course food. We fight like animals for that. So a lot of desperate mothers just did what they could just try to keep their children alive. So they sold what they had to sell, and that was a body to make do. In that situation, like a lot of things changed, most people turned to monsters, and it was ugly. I talked about that, but you're going to see the true colors in a lot of people, and I see the true colors in a lot of them now because of the problems I'm having, and I don't want to know because I choose to do my nature and not use a lot of pesticides for our plants and things like that, because I choose a little more off the grid style. It's basically said back to basic nature style. I have neighbors that's causing problems because I don't fit in that little box they want me to fit in. So you're going to see the true nature of people coming out in them. If they're causing problems now before shtf thing happens, can you imagine what to be like afterwards? I mean, you certainly ain't going to want to give them some food to help them because they've been mean to you the whole time. It says, strength was in numbers. If you were alone in the house, you've been probably robbed and killed. Anyway, war ended. Again, thanks to America. And again, God bless USA for that. It is not important which side had right in the war. It doesn't matter which is right, what's wrong in war. War is war. People suffer. No matter what side you're on, people suffer. Said it was almost 20 years ago, but believe me, for me it was just like yesterday. I remember everything, and I learned a lot. He carries this with him the rest of life. Me and my family are prepared now. I am well armed, stocked, and educated. It is not important what's going to happen. Earthquake, war, it don't matter what it is. The important thing is what's going to be. And from my experience, you cannot survive alone. Strength is in numbers. Be close with your family. Them, choose your friends wisely and prepare with them too. I talk to different people, and I'm real careful what I talk about, and I find that people that are considered friends, I don't create a close bond with them too much because of the fact is I know they do nothing to prepare. They will expect you to take care of them. They will be knocking at your door. And then again, like I said, some of them have older children who has shown that you can't trust them. There's a way about it. You start to get this gut feeling that you can't trust these people totally in a situation. And at the end of this war, my first post, and my English is not good, so don't judge me too hard. Question: how did you get around safely? Actually, city was broken in something like a lot of street communities. In my street, 15 or 20 houses, we or patrols 5 armed men every night to watch on gangs or enemies. So they had to section themselves off and basically had to count on each other to protect them. We traded things between people in that street. 5 miles from my street, there was one street with something organized traders, but it was too dangerous to go there. It worked only during the nighttime. During the day, you had more chance to be robbed than to trade. I used that street only 2 times, and when I really need something bad. So basically, they went without. And then another question: what about wood? It looks like there are many forests around the city. Why did you have to burn your furniture? First, thank you for the question. I did not expect this amount of interest from my post. I'm glad to share a lot of things with you guys because I want to learn a lot of things from you. Anyway, Boston has a lot of woods and forests when you check map, but I live in city closer to the border south. I don't want to mention the name of the city, but if you check them out, south part of my country, closer to it, is of course hills and rocks and things like that. Yes, we have some trees in my city, parks, fruit trees, but most of the city is buildings and houses. And the city is going to be burned very fast when you don't have electricity for cooking and heat. So you're going to have to use whatever is surrounded with wood or whatever. There was almost no car use in town because most of the roads jammed with ruins, abandoned cars, house stuff like that, and petrol was like gold. If I needed to go somewhere, I almost always use nighttime, never go alone, but also never go in big groups because it does attract attention. Always armed, very fast, always in the shadow. Tuck ruins, rarely open on the streets and things in that area. We did not have suburbs and farmers in suburbs were enemy armies. We were surrounded with the enemy inside town. You did not know who is your enemy. This has all happened in Bosnia during those few years. This is what can happen worldwide. Did you prep? What kind of skills did you need? We used what we had. We was not prepared for that situation. We did not know for prepping. So you can imagine in some aspect, we go back in Stone Age. Actually, in most of it. So there's a regression back. You're going backwards in time, basically. You're going back, starting over from ground up, basically. We did use everything what we had. One of them I had in my I had a cylinder, a little stove cylinder. I'm not sure that is right, and I did not use it for cooking or heating. It was too valuable. Instead, they built that bottle with my friend so I can attach a hose on some kind of vent like thing, so I can build those disposable lighters, and they are not disposable if you know how to do them. You can know how to refill them, and that was what they used the lighters more because they could use them to start fires and things like that. So that's what they did with that instead. So they didn't use that little canister for cooking. They filled their lighters up so they could use the lighters to help see with, to help cook, to build fires with, to help use in other situations. To make story short, somebody bring me an empty lighter to me, and I fill that lighter with gas. Usually I took that or one candle or whatever he could offer me. So they used it like a trade and things too. So people was willing to needed that lighter. They was willing to trade for that lighter. I hope you understand my example. It says, one more example, I am a registered nurse. In that time, my knowledge was my thing for trade. So because he had medical knowledge, he was able to trade things for survival. Yes, be trained and educated in times like that is worth a fortune, it says. I mean, learn to fix things, shoes or people, whatever you can. For me, it's learning about land, it's learning about nature. So my vantage point for my trade is showing people what they can harvest and eat and everything else. My neighbor used to know how to make some kind of oil for oil lamps, oil and glass, piece of rope, and he never showed me how to make that oil. So, but he used that as trade to get food things. I believe he used some tree behind his house, a small amount of diesel. I don't know. My point is learn things. So then it was a question, was it, then one asked him basically about, was it a religious war. But the fact is, go and read more about what happened to Bosnia in 1992 through 95. And I'm sorry this here was cut off, but go to this place. It's called the Civil Bear Calf, and it was summed up by Chris Sykes here. And there was many more questions and answers that was on it that I did not post. I just do a highlight on this. Now remember, I don't agree on everything, but this in here is telling you what can happen, what can happen worldwide. Now this is just in Bosnia during those 3 years. This happens in the other parts of the world. Well, it set them back years, and they had to find ways to survive and trade and do what they do. So go to that site, like I say, the Silver Bear Calf, and find this article again right here. I'm sorry part of it was cut off. And then here's the picture right here. You can find the picture. You can see the picture right there. So this is live prepper here. I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all, and please check this article out. It'll make you think.